Okay, could not complete this book. I only got like the last 418 roughly. The last few pages, the last few hundred pages I lost. I'm not even sure where they're at. This book is so old, 1960, and just so beat up. 1962. But it's interesting. But it's just history of the sciences. It just is so old and it's been falling apart. I can't do anything else with it. I've left notes. Pretty much the people have had a lot of false assumptions throughout the discovery of science. It's heavily influenced by your class, how much money you make. A lot of people would ignore theory. There's a lot of people that would even ignore the entire practice of experimentation. Some people would just live on theory alone, and apparently the people who had the money lived on theory and would not practice the science with their own hands, because they felt that was for the lower classes to do. But the lower classes couldn't practice theory because they couldn't read. So there's different like approaches to science that were really influenced by what your wage, what your class was. That's just one of the approaches, one of the early approaches, and they seem to focus a lot in the early years, like when science really first began, on the stars and the solar system. And then, of course, medicine's always been a big deal, and they tried to bridge the gap between astronomy and medicine, and try to attribute the star alignment to maybe certain types of medical issues. There's the religion's influence on science. You got spirits. What did I write what did I read for 204, for example? People were like cutting each other open to see if there was a spirit inside her body. There's a lot of dissections of people. Gravity acted at a distance between bodies. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. There's just a lot of rejection and acceptance, and then there's like rejection for maybe a few generations of a certain idea, then that idea being brought back. It depends a lot on the political influence, which the politics in a lot of ways was influenced by religion. So there's a different way of running a political system under the religious guise. The brain secretes thoughts like bile. See, it's amazing the progress that they went through in trying to think through how certain bodily functions were occurring. They just had to go on what they saw and then create theories about it, and then over time experiment with that. Like, we bleed. how to stop how to stop a cut. So a lot of people were cauterizing the wound, and that was wrong. There's more of a blood supply that you would use pressure to stop the blood flow. Like if you cut your arm really hard or something, people were using hot iron to just burn that flesh to get it to stop burning, and that works, but there are better ways to do it. Air makes metal heavier. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting theories that they went through.